Since the end of the last series, I've been able to jump into Alpha 21.2 now and test out one of the new features, which is the death penalty setting. Previously, when you died in 7 Days to Die, all that happened is you got an XP penalty and you respawned and you were fine. Now they've added options to completely remove that penalty if you think that's too punishing, to retain your injuries so there's no self-unaliving to get rid of broken legs, for example, and it will also keep you at 50% water and food so you can't use it for free food and water, but there's also permanent death, which completely resets the player's progression, and if you die in the game, you die in real life. No, that last part's fake, but permanent death is an interesting phrase when you think about it because it's not permadeath in the sense of Minecraft hardcore where if you die you don't get to play the world anymore. It's permanent death more in the vein of Project Zomboid or State of Decay where if you die as that character is gone and you have to start a new one in the existing world. So I've come up with some settings that I think would be the definitive 7 Days to Die hardcore that are difficult but not absolutely obnoxious. You could actually make 7 Days to Die even more obnoxious than this if you wanted, but I didn't want to make it just completely unplayable because that's not entertaining for you to watch or play along at home. So the settings I've gone for are good old Insane Nightmare. I do enjoy a bit of Insane Nightmare. Feral Sense is off because it's the worst thing in the universe. Airdrops are disabled as ever. Loot respawn is disabled as ever. If I die, I delete all my gear and I completely restart my character. So not only will I die and have to reset my character, I won't be able to get the gear I was holding. It just gets deleted. Hopefully that won't even happen. I have a pretty good track record with unmodded series of just not dying because I'm decent at the game. But I thought Insane Nightmare permadeath is kind of the same as what I did in Insane Nightmare like 6 months ago. So how can I make it a bit harder on myself other than just the death penalty? So I thought about why don't I make mining even harder and reduce my block damage. That's going to stop me from getting materials very easily at all and is going to make it so that I really am not going to want to break open loot with pickaxes and stuff. It's going to be much harder to do that. And I've turned up the AI block damage to make it so that zombies have a much easier time of getting to me if I'm hiding in a house or hiding on top of a house. And I've also added that to the Blood Moon. I am not even going to try and build a base to survive the Day 7 Horde on this challenge. If the zombies are doing 50% more damage, they will eat through cobblestone quite easily. I think you would need concrete to really even begin to do much on these settings. At least with the way that I build my bases, which are typically not the most overbuilt things ever. I typically just have a few layers of blocks between me and the zombies because that's enough on default settings. This is going to make it much harder to use them, which is what I want because I probably just won't build a horde base. I was enjoying not using horde bases in the last series, so we'll be adding that in as well. But Insane Nightmare with all these settings still isn't hardcore enough. So I'm also going to add in the final stipulation that I'm not allowed to use trader quests. I can buy and sell from traders, but I'm not allowed to quest. In my opinion and experience, questing is a lot more powerful than just buying things from the trader. So that's what's going to happen there. So I think that's reasonable. I can still use vending machines. I'm not trying to make it super duper hard. Besides, if I did, I wouldn't have anything to do in the future, would I? So we're playing on some pretty rough settings. This is my 7 Days to Die hardcore settings and rule set. Let's get into the world. The seed is on the screen now with the settings I used, and let's get in there.